I wonder what happens if I just keep denying this guy. Can I just go the whole game without him ever opening shop? He just keeps offering this to me. Like around the 5th time, he's just like, please, for the love of God, I have a family to feed. Alright, sure, let's get the 7th seed slot. Because it really will make things easier from this point forward. And when you save up 5,000, I'll sell you an 8th slot upgrade. Check you later. Alright, what's up everybody, and welcome back to Team Pizza Plays. Or rather, I play Plants vs. Zombies, and as promised in the last episode, we're going to show off a couple different things here, including one of my favorite plants in the entire game. Now, I wanted to talk about the results between Sunshroom versus Sunflower, because as I said previously, I ended things off on the 3rd episode last time. As you all saw, because I put it in editing, Sunshrooms are actually better. Like, no doubt, they have so many more advantages that... What am I doing? Why am I not taking the Puff Shroom with me? That would probably be a smart idea, wouldn't it? Gah! Look what I've done! I've screwed it all up already. Okay. Actually, I don't see any screen door guys in that crowd, but I'll take him just in case. Just in case you're lying to me. I don't know what was with that sassy, like, New York mom tone in my voice. It's like, now, son, you gotta eat your peas. I don't even know anymore. It's early. Bear with me here, which is interesting because anybody who knows me knows that I don't get up earlier than noon, typically on usual days, for anything less than E3 or a house fire, and I don't hear a single goddamn alarm going off. It's kind of interesting though, because the more I get used to producing videos, the more I've been trying to create things for YouTube, the more I start treating it like an actual job. Like, just of my own volition, I start waking up earlier, I've started thinking about things like, should I upload videos at the same time every day? Should I get to the point where I can set up a schedule, essentially? Because those things do pay off. Even people who say, no, we have no problem, like, you taking a break every now and then, it's... General consensus, because your strongest fans will always say things like that, because they don't want you stressing yourself out, which is good too, don't get me wrong. There is some definite benefits to making sure you protect your health as well. That's a trap a lot of YouTubers fall into eventually, is they start thinking, you know, I can pull an all-nighter tonight, I can do things that normally I wouldn't do in my life that would probably lead to me feeling much worse in the morning, but it'll be so worth it because I get that little extra bit of content done, right? No, it won't worth it. It won't worth it. Fantastic sentence, Fnu. It won't be worth it because nothing good ever comes of you killing yourself, no matter how productive you end up being. So, life lessons from your friendly friends, as opposed to your unfriendly friends. Oh, for a team pizza. I don't know. I guess you do have unfriendly friends. Those guys who are, like, punching you. Those frat boy guys who... It's just like a 3-year spanking machine of contempt when you join your local fraternity. Oh, what am I even talking about? Can somebody tell me? Because I don't know. Alright, here we go. These are football zombies. This guy up here with the helmet, and normally he's really tough, takes a billion shots to get rid of. But if we use this, that's the power of the Hypno Shroom. He starts running the other way immediately, no matter how powerful they are. They take one chomp of that and they turn around and start going the other way. And even better, you want to use that on much more powerful zombies like the football guys, because they will also chomp down on any zombies they come across. So you end up in this situation where you can actually turn their most powerful soldiers against them, which is why Hypno Shroom is so powerful, so incredibly useful. In fact, I've noticed some of the most powerful plants in the game are only available at night. They're all mushrooms, and they are all extremely, extremely useful. We'll be coming across a couple more of them. I mean, it even shows off in the sense that the sun shrooms, just, I guess due to the virtue that they can be placed down faster, actually get you sun much more quickly than normal sunflowers do, so, Alright, looks like we're almost at the end of 2-6 here. Huge wave of zombies is approaching, which means I should probably... Man, I didn't get rid of any graves at all during that run. I feel kind of ashamed of myself, actually, because that's usually pretty important. Now I can start showing off the true power of the Hypno Shroom here. Watch this. Once again, he turns around, but see that poor zombie behind him? Bites his own head off. My goodness. Alright, we're gonna stop that guy there. He's gonna eat that puff shroom, but I'm gonna stop his buddies from joining him in the endeavor. At least for a little bit. I can probably make that... I don't know why I did that. It's not any more powerful than the puff shroom, and it still fires at the regular rate. I don't know, because it costs more, it feels like it's a bit more powerful. Like that was the right thing to do. Alright. Now we got another type of mushroom here. This is the Scaredy Shroom. Now, it's a long-ranged mushroom. It's basically a puff shroom, except when a zombie gets close, it stops being useful. It's essentially a sniper rifle. It's great at long range, but once they get up close, it's totally useless. So I tend not to like the Scaredy Shroom, even though it's cheap. Even though it's sort of like a middle ground between the puff shroom and the normal pea shooters, except there's not really a point where you would need that 25 sun. Watch, I'm wrong on that too now, that I've said it out loud. Alright, Fume Shroom, Gravebuster, Walnut, Hypno Shroom, to make sure we take care of these guys. I actually want to show off, because this is one of my favorite entries in the Almanac. Football Zombie gives 110% whenever he's on the field. He's a team player who delivers both offensively and defensively. He has no idea what football is. Hey, you know that thing I said about guys in red shirts? Yeah? Forget about it. Okay. For those of you who have seen that movie. If you have, good on you. That's a really good film. It's the Recruits, by the way. Or the Replacements. That's the name of the movie. Wow. I made the reference, and even I didn't get the source correct. Oh, my goodness. Once again, excuse me, it's a little early in the morning here. There we go. Alright, top row. We are good on that front. I've got the row covered that I need to be covered. In fact, let's cover it a little more just to be on the safe side. Boom. Place these guys down as quickly as we can. Again, I'm trying to be as efficient as possible here. I'm trying to make sure I don't waste any movements, because I know how people get, because I'm one of them. It's just one less thing you have to worry about. You can focus more on what matters, which is what I'm saying. Oh my god, I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Like what I say has ever mattered. I don't know, you say those kinds of things. Some people actually have issue with that. I've seen a lot of people in other people's comment sections be like, why do you always make self-deprecatory jokes like that? Like, I think you're great. Everybody here thinks you're great. Why do you beat yourself up so much? And I don't know. I guess it's a bit of a humbling thing. You want to always keep yourself in check because nobody else will. You can only trust yourself to make sure that your ego doesn't get out of control, I find. Let's Gravebuster that. Start chomping down in the places that it needs to happen. We got that covered. That's a lot of gravestones, by the way. I might spend a little more sun than I probably need to getting rid of these things early on. Because the less of those extra zombies I have to deal with right at the end, the better. Alright. More there. If I can at least push them back to the back 2 rows, I'll be good to go, because that's essentially the space I normally use anyway. I'm normally used to, anyway. If you couldn't tell by our performance in Whack-a-Zombie earlier. There we go. Alright, give me a specialty zombie. There we go. Now I know where to... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I didn't think this through. I thought I had a normal pea shooter in my army. Okay. Well, I'll just settle for that then. Gotta make sure I always have 75 in stock, too. Because one of those footballers could show up at any time and just make my life miserable. They're really good at that, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. Because those things are incredibly tough. Like, even more so than a bucket head. They're also a slightly faster, if I'm not mistaken. They just have a bad habit of literally chewing through your defenses. So, make sure you're always ready to deal with that when it comes your way. It's gotta be really annoying for the neighbors, just having all this sun showing up. Like, what does this look like to an ongoer? Like, these bright flashes of light that the guy in the house is just sort of harnessing into the palm of his hand? Or maybe the seed packets are absorbing them for him? He's just got a billion packets from Bloom and Doom Seed Company hiding in these boxes right behind the lawnmowers. And they're just sucking up all of the light these mushrooms produce as it comes out. We're starting to figure out how this game works, actually. This world's a lot more fascinating than I thought it was. Alright, time to start putting these guys on the field, methinks. How about another Gravebuster? Right before the huge wave, too. Although I think it's only the final wave that has them spawn from the graves. Yep, I was right. For once, I actually said something that made sense. Alright, 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 alright. That's a lot of alrights. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times alright. Because look at how strong our defenses are. We got nothing to worry about. Rather, we have nothing to worry about, except for that guy. That guy we should worry about. Which is why I'm going to put that guy there, to make sure he can't do anything about us. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should probably cover each lane. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for. Each lane with a fume shroom. Just to make sure, because they've got some good range on them, too. Yeah, that's 4 spots in front of them they hit, as opposed to the puff shrooms, which only hit about 3. Alright, we've got our main front covered, now we just gotta cover the flanks. And we'll be A-O good, as Crazy Dave would say. And as I would say, apparently, because I play this game way too much, if you couldn't tell. One more Gravebuster. Because then it'll only be 3 extra zombies, and that is good with me. You try to avoid that sometimes. If you notice weird pauses in my speech when I'm about to describe something, it's probably because I realize in the back of my head, oh, I've already said this phrase that I'm thinking of before. Maybe I should just think of some other way to say it. Because that's one other thing you start to notice is, like, just as from a principle of me being a writer, I know you should try to avoid repeating yourself whenever possible. Simply because of the fact that it's tiring. Okay, the brain gets exhausted of the exact same stimulus over and over. It's just how psychology works. You know, like I'm some kind of expert on the subject or anything. Now, let me tell you about the Freudian principles that are placed in this Plant versus Zombie game. Zombies. Plants vs. Zombinis, I'd play that. Does anybody remember the logical journey of the Zombinis? I hope so. I hope I'm not the only one who remembers that title. It was a great little educational game. And I loved it in particular because it taught something that a lot of other games just don't. In fact, a lot of classrooms don't. It's not about math or writing or about how well you can type. I mean, don't get me wrong. To an extent, all of those things have a use in your life. But Logical Journey of the Zombies, as the name may imply, taught you something that you really didn't get in many other places, which was logic. Every single puzzle in that game was about you using logical thinking, and that is incredibly powerful. Uh-oh. Who's gonna get that Hypno Shroom now? Oh, man. I hope that gets given to the intended target. There we go. Oh, he's still slowed down. Whoops. Dun 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 dun. Ba 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 ba. Don't worry, man. You'll make it eventually. He's at the 40. The 40. The 40. The 39. Alright, so we got a new power-up. This is the Ice Shroom, which temporarily immobilizes all zombies on the screen. Basically, it freezes them all in place momentarily, and then, for a little bit after that, they will be affected like they got hit by a snow pea. They will be moving a little slower. It's basically to buy yourself a little extra time in situations where you can't have... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Check this guy out. This is the dancing zombie. And I'll get back to what I was talking about in a second. Actually, I've said pretty much everything I was going to say about that, so I won't bother. The dancing zombie is one of the more controversial things in this game. It brought up a lot of discussion in the community that have liked this game for several different reasons. They changed his design, and it was rather unfortunate because, well, you've got a disco dancing zombie in a game that's all about... Well, you've got a disco dancer in a game that's about zombies. I mean, what do you think that character was originally going to be? I'll give you a hint. It starts with thrill and rhymes with killer. Yeah, he was originally a Michael Jackson reference. Only one small problem with that. Michael Jackson passed away. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. He just... he left this world around the same time this game was being put out there. And so, out of respect for the guy, they didn't leave him in the game. I don't know if they actually got in legal trouble for that. The story I heard is that they just did it out of respect, but if there are conflicting accounts on that, let me know. I'll put an annotation or something in post-editing. I gotta be careful with that. Like, I try to put these episodes out in a timely manner, but the more things I have to edit in later, the more time I have to devote to one particular thing. You try to draw... Okay, apparently this is the behind-the-scenes episode of how I get everything done, but... That's another thing I've been focusing on lately, is trying to figure out how I'm gonna get all of these things done in a timely manner. It's like, how do I put up a gameplay channel and stuff on my normal channel as well? You know, without having to delay things for a couple days just to get them up in the form I need them to be. It goes back to the old philosophy. There are 3 qualities any particular product can have: fast, cheap, and good, and you can only have 2 of them. Like, something can be fast and cheap, but it won't be very good. Something can be good and cheap, but it won't be made very quickly. And something can be fast and good, but you won't get it cheap. I guarantee you. And so, right now, I'm trying not to cheapen my episodes, is the thing. I'm definitely not. But I am trying to find ways to cut down on time costs, if you will. Like, truth be told, these episodes, I've already got my recording software. I pay for XSplit about every 3 months. So, past that, the only thing I really have to pay is just pay for sanity. Roll for sanity every day I try to produce these videos in a timely way. I've got nothing else to spend this sun on. Let's just start munching on gravestones. It's gotta hurt. Like, what kind of specialty teeth would you have to munch on rock? Like, what are tombstones made of again? No, stop it! No editing! Ah, crap. Alright, well, this is what the disco zombie does. He summons his buddies there, and they will cause you all kinds of unfortunate problems. Now, what you do is you hypnotize the main lead disco zombie, and what he will do, hopefully, if we have enough time, yup, he summons more buddies that will cover his line, and they'll all be hypnotized too. So you basically cover multiple lines with one disco zombie. Keep everything... Look at that! He's basically doing our job for us. That is incredibly powerful. The only problem is hypnotized zombies are a little weaker than they would be if you had just left them alone. So, unfortunately, it's not totally broken. It's still a little bit broken. Like, it will buy you a significant amount of time to work with, but still. Don't think it's going to be an end-all beat-all solution. Especially considering, how fast does that thing respawn, actually? I don't know what that voice crack was. How fast does that? Wow, I peaked the sound, jeez. Speaking of things I should watch out for doing. Oh, crap. Cover that lane! No, stop that. Right then, well, looks like we got all these things to deal with. Oh, I hope my lines are strong enough here. I'll put a pea shooter there. Boy. Oh, boy. Is anybody in particular suffering too badly? Not really. The backup dancers have, if I remember correctly, about the same health as a normal zombie, so 10 hits. Oh! Speaking of my favorite plants in this entire game. This is the Doom Shroom. Destroys a large area, leaving a crater in its wake. Now, I am going to bring this guy with me into this next stage, just because I think he is so incredibly useful in so many situations. Doom Shroom is one of the most expensive mushrooms in the game, and for good reason. He is unbelievably powerful. In fact, let's check his entry on the Almanac for a second here. You're lucky I'm on your side, says Doom Shroom. I could destroy everything you hold dear. It wouldn't be hard. Yup. That is a yup. Alright, I gotta keep an eye open for these guys, because if you nab them quickly, you can keep them from summoning bad backup dancers and summoning good backup dancers to your side. What else? We're gonna need walls. Yeah, and we need Doom. We need Dr. Doom on this field. Just dive kicks all day. My usual spiel up here. Start with the top rows, move my way down. I mean, because what else are you going to do while you wait for the hordes to come in? Might as well build up. Might as well preemptively make something where there is no threat. Because you know the threat's coming. And, of course, he decides to start out in a place that I make even more vulnerable, because I put something in his way. But again, as long as you move quickly, don't waste your movements or your clicks here, we are ready to go. How about another mushroom? You like that? I wouldn't imagine so, because it makes your limbs pop off. Then again, he is a zombie? Do zombies have that kind of brain function? Is that something you lose in the transition when you die? Like, you don't feel pain anymore? Do you feel anymore when you're a zombie? Because if The Walking Dead is to be believed, when you become zombified, you're basically operating off of your most basic brain functions. So the reason they want to eat is because that's all they understand, is to consume, because that's a primal urge. May as well put that guy there. So, does pain count on that front, is my question. Is that one of the things they would retain? That'd be awfully detrimental. It would make them a little less scary. It's like, why was I programmed to feel pain? Uh-oh. Oh, and I didn't bring pea shooters! Crud! No, it's not time to use Doom yet. I'll just slow him down with a walnut. And I can't slow him down with a Hypno Shroom either, because those tombstones are all in the way. Because they take up squares is the other problem. You can't plant on those. So unfortunately, just gotta, uh-oh. It'd be nice if you could recharge right now. Just throwing that out there. You gotta get rid of the... Because every single level, you've probably noticed that these gravestones have been getting more and more plentiful, and they've been getting closer and closer to the border of my... to the front of my lawn, so I've needed to clear them out just so I have enough space to actually plant what I need to plant. Build up my defenses in a way that's not... Make them adapt to you, not you adapt to them. Turn the tides in your favor, essentially. Alright. Got most of the preliminary work out of the way. I could start building some of my more powerful stuff. But I'd rather wait till I know where to put it. Is there? Nah, there's no problem putting a fume shroom down right now. I mean, he recharges pretty quickly anyway, look at that. So even if I did see a screen door zombie come up, I could react to it accordingly. Let's cover a little more ground here. Start hitting that guy before he even gets close. There we go! For the first time in a while, walnuts in all 5 lanes. Start fuming it up. Start eating it up. Busting it up, I should say. Does anybody remember... Oh, I think it was Extreme Ghostbusters? Or... It was a cartoon that was released in the 90s. It had the intro where... Why can I not remember any names today? The guy who voices Negaduck. He was singing the intro... And Darkwing Duck, for that matter. He was singing the intro to Ghostbusters, which is absolutely fantastic. I didn't know that was one of the things I needed in my life until it actually happened. And that's actually how... That cartoon is actually how I learned about Ghostbusters. The only problem is, it didn't last very long, if I remember correctly. It didn't get nearly the recognition it deserved, in my opinion, because that was a really good cartoon. Lots of really fun characters, and I know it got a lot of flack for being one of those... for trying to be inclusive and, like, putting in a whole bunch of characters. Which, I don't know, was the original really that... Was the original any different in that regard? Like, it had a pretty diverse cast, too. A whole bunch of different personalities. You had the smartass, the nerd. I'm just gonna stop the discussion right there. I'm gonna get myself in trouble if I think too deeply about these kinds of things. As per usual, right? Chomp, 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 chomp. That's about we gas those guys to death. What exactly are we firing at them with a fume shroom? That's my next question. Are we gassing the zombies to death? I thought they lost the need to breathe. Which is kind of interesting because flesh actually can't... Your body can't actually sustain itself without basic things. Like, I know we always see zombies, like, very decrepit and they're missing parts and, like, certain things just don't work anymore, but chemically, your body needs certain things. Otherwise, it literally starts to fall apart. Like, after a while, zombies who have certain... Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, eat your own backup dancer. Good lord! That was a massacre. Eat your own backup dancer. It's like... Father! Why would you betray me like this? I popped that just a little bit too early. Well, a little bit too late. Like, if I had caught that guy as soon as he walked into the screen, I could have prevented that. But if you can't catch him on that first go, you probably should wait just a little bit. Till he gets in far enough for you to... For him to summon another wave of backup dancers, and then you're good to go. This isn't quite as powerful as I want it to be, either. Should probably start putting down... I can't believe I'm saying this, but a third row of fume shrooms. I mean, I've got 1200 sun now, I may as well. I'm not spending it on anything else except doom shrooms, and that's during the final wave. Because if you thought cherry bombs were great as a temporary solution to a permanent problem, oh boy. We're gonna go down one row of fume shrooms. Because here's the thing, I could put one there, but as you'll see right here, it's not gonna matter. Doom! All 5 rows just obliterated. Not a single zombie left to be seen. But the only thing is he leaves a crater right there, which means you can't plant any zombies there. I mean, you can't... Oh my god! I need sleep! Hello, we would like to visit for a midnight snack. How does ice cream and brains sound? Sincerely, the zombies. Shouldn't that be sincerely? I know it's a nitpick. Or visit, or brains, or does. I mean, if you're gonna do a joke, make it consistent, man. For crying out loud. Alright, you know how it goes with these Wave 10 situations. But we get one of the best songs in the game, too. Alright, we got some stalling tactics. We can keep those guys back if we want. We can also eat that gravestone right there, which I am more than happy to do. So yes, the crater will repair itself eventually. It's just, you want to make sure you don't need that spot for anything else. They're giving me a lot of ice shrooms early on, and not much to actually deal with these zombies with. I don't want to spend my doom shrooms so early, though. Oh, they're giving me 2 of them? Well, why didn't she just say so? But that's the best spot. Do I really want to waste it now? Oh, we got a hypno, too. Spend 1 more just to make sure they don't get too close. Because the ice shrooms don't actually do any damage. They just buy you time. What is up? Give me something to work with here. Something I can actually use. Alright, here we go. Let's give our hypnotized friend there a little something to work with. Weaken that other guy for him. Uh-oh. I think we might be okay. Alright, I'm gonna have to hypnotize this guy. Which sucks, because I don't like to waste them like that. Feels like I'm wasting it anyway. Yeah, look at that. You can even see the damage in real time as they chew through... Alright, hold up. That music doesn't really work with the background sounds, does it? I mean... The thing is, I've played games like Mario, where the music actually adapts to what you're... It's sort of like an addition. Like, whenever you're riding Yoshi, you can hear, like, an extra beat in the background or something. So if the disco zombie comes up and he starts... it adds, like, a funky beat to whatever song is playing right now. I'd love to hear that. Lots of different variations on these already really good songs. It'd be nice. There we go. Preemptively, I got all the fume shrooms up that I could ever need. Now I'm just waiting for a football zombie to come up so I can start taking advantage of these. I actually got another grave eater I could use. Probably be smart to use that. You know, if I was actually smart. There we go. I'm gonna wait till that guy gets a little further in, just so I can maximize my damage he can do. Because if I wait, something might come up behind him. Look at that. He's not even showing damage yet. He's taking all those shots. And now I get to use that kind of endurance to my benefit. Oh, look at that. I wonder, hypnotized footballer versus screen door zombie. Who's gonna win this fight? Because he's got a... Oh, he chews right through the screen door, too. Dude. Very nice. Actually, let's not put too much pressure on this one. Let's hypnotize him. See how much damage he can do. Probably not much, because we've already established zombies chew right through the door, but... eh. Very nice. This is part of why I wanted to play this game again. There's just so many good aspects about it. So many fun things. Good music, good gameplay, good ideas, fun characters. Alright, his helmet's starting to get wrecked a little bit, but he can deal with it. He's a big boy. Look at that. One normal zombie and a cone head. Gone. We don't even have to waste shots on it. Because he's that... He got another one! How far did they... I wonder, has anyone ever, like, dug into the code of this game and figured out how far those guys actually go off screen where they can still interact with other zombies? Oh, and this is why I hoard these things. Though I want to save at least one for the final wave. Well, looks like my one came right there. Well, I don't have to worry about these 2 rows anymore. Send me your worst. It won't matter. Another fumer. I mean, I'll take it. Seriously. Crap. Do I want to... Well, okay. I think we're good to go then. Yep, because Fume Shroom's gonna get rid of that guy. Screen door, so we don't have to worry about that. Crap! I really don't want to use these right now. Alright. Is it time? Yeah, it's time! Alright. That's good, but I can still use this spot and this spot. Because if I remember correctly, it's... I think a 5x5 grid of squares, which is insane, by the way. That is absolutely ridiculous that that thing is that powerful. I know it leaves a crater, so you can't exactly optimize it as much as you can, but... Oh, boy. Oh, boy! Okay, I had to time that just right. Alright, this is suboptimal too, because now I'll only be affecting these 3 spots. These 3 rows, which... hopefully I can make that work for me. Oh! He actually got beat! But it doesn't matter, because I've got Doom on my side. And ta-da! That is the end of the night phase. Oh, one more phase of the game down, which means they introduce a new element to us. You got a new plant, the lily pad. Lets you plant non-aquatic plants on top of it. Wait a minute. Why would we need aquatic plants, you wonder? Guess you'll have to find out in the next episode of Let's Play You know what I was gonna say. See you later, everybody.